Yeah. Morning everyone. Morning baby Raphael. Hope you've all had a great week. Bit cold this morning, ain't it? Anyway, before we start, I'm just going to put a bubble of white light of protection around us individually and around us as a soul family group that we are for today. I just want to say to you, I've been watching a couple of programs this week on children and what children are doing to help, and one of them was that they were planting a tree, like millions of them, millions of trees, millions of kids doing it. And the other one I saw was that they were actually making hedgerows, and they want to get hedgerows back into agricultural life. But for me, it was giving all them kids the practice of sharing and caring, and the other one was they're actually doing things that connect them back to the earth, which is where I think that we've made our biggest mistakes. We've lost our connection to the earth and to nature. And all these programs that I'll keep watching, and like they're really small kids, and they're doing it to make their world a better place for them to grow up into. And it's just sort of so grown up to even think about stuff like that when you're little. But what an amazing start in your life, that you're actually being shown how to share and to care, not only for other people but for the planet as well. All right. I just think it's a fantastic thing that we are doing out there. And then I am going to be random this morning. I found this really weird little article on loving your plants, right? And it was just, if you can't love people, if anything that they ever do that they irritate you, and then or maybe you're not into animals, or they poo on the carpet or do something that irritates you. But with a plant, it can't do anything to irritate you other than to be. And it's like practicing unconditional love, right? Because you're going to talk to it, you're going to love it, whether it blooms or not, whether it dies or not. And you do it I want you to practice it every day. So then you'll be able to extend that loving practice to other people and not just plants, even though the plants will love it if you're talking to them and singing to them and doing stuff. And it's just a way to sort of show you that if you encourage and nurture things, whether they're a plant or a human being, that they all react to it and that they love it just as much as you end up loving it as well. Anyway, that's just my little random thoughts for today. So get yourself a plant if you can. It just feels weird. I just want you to have one that don't really do anything great. You know what I mean? It doesn't come into like a massive bloom, or it doesn't do this. Just an ordinary, everyday little plant that will certainly nourish itself and flourish with your love, as does everything on the earth. Right, so that's enough of my chatting for today. Let's go on our beautiful meditation. So nice and quiet, get yourself comfortable in your seat. 3 deep breaths before we start. And off we go. Walking up the path, acknowledging the birds and the bees and the butterflies and all the things of nature. There's little bunnies bopping in and out. It's cold today, so we're wrapped up really well against the cold. But there's a freshness and a crispness, and it makes you feel alive as you're walking along. And as we went round our first corner, we come to our glorious grey dustbin. The dustbin where we offload all this week's worries, all this week's disappointments, and I was going to say failures then, but I don't actually believe that to be true. But all the things that you've disappointed yourself or that you've disappointed other people, all them fears, all them worries, all the stuff that serves you no purpose, just put it in that dustbin. Put it in the dustbin. It's as simple as that. You don't have to carry these worries for this coming week. I want you to, if you feel that you haven't done as good as you can, do it today. Every day, make it your quest in life. I'm going to do better today. And if you don't do it better today, don't beat yourself up over it. It's life. Life is not easy, and it's just difficult sometimes. So just have another go the next day. No beating up's not what we do these meditations for. Just plain and simple, it's to make us all feel better about ourselves. Because then when we feel better, we can pass that on. Anyway, in the dustbin, all of last week's worries, and put that lid on real tight. I even want to screw it on this week because I think there's been a lot of frightening stuff going on this week and a lot of decisions. And we will carry on up our path. The air rustles through the leaves of the trees. We can smell pine. And there's a freedom to us today. And we walk up our path and we glance surreptitiously at our brown dustbin, which we will be visiting in a couple of weeks. And as we turn the last corner, there's our beautiful tree just waiting for us to come for today's meditation. And as we all enter the tree, in the trunk of the tree there's like a round room, and we all give ourselves a group hug. And there's so much love that passes through us now. And then off we're going to go to do our work. Before we start, we're just going to unfurl cords from our feet, let them go down into the tree, wrap themselves around your favourite crystal. And then off up we go, up through the trunk, up through the boughs, out through the leaves, up into the atmosphere, and high, high up into the sky so that we can look down on the earth. You don't feel frightened, you feel really safe. And once we're up there, we're going to open our heart chakra right up and send as much love and healing and forgiveness to everyone that's been suffering in any form of this COVID. Whether it's that you're looking after relatives, or you've actually got it, or you know people that's got it. Anyone that's anything to do with the COVID, we're going to send our love and healing and forgiveness to it. Anyone and everyone, no judging, no discerning who you think deserves it or who don't deserve it. Just give out that love, unlimited love to everyone and everything in your path. And I shall leave you doing exactly that. time to come back. Before you come back down, have a look round. Cast your eyes round, and there's a huge, huge circle of angels and earth angels like yourself doing exactly the same work as what we're doing. So we'll say to you, well done. Well done, you. And now it's time to come back through the leaves, down through the boughs, into the trunk of the tree. Where again, we give each other a group hug because we know we've done really good work. Unfurl those cords that you wrap around your crystals. We thank the tree, and the tree thanks us. And it's actually a little example of give and take on both sides. A perfect combination. And out of the tree we come. There's sunshine waiting for us when we come out of the tree today. And we wend down our path. We're looking at our brown dustbin as we go past it. And as we walk down the road, we're smiling at the bunnies and the butterflies and the bees and the birds. All their stuff they give us for free. And as we're wending down the road again, we're opening our hands out and just putting them out there and absorbing all the energy and the goodness and the love that the earth has got to give us. We feel great today, and we feel grateful for all the gifts that we've got in our life. And we come back till you're sitting in the same chair that we started off with. 3 deep breaths, and bring yourself back to the now. Well done, you all. Well done. I'm sure most of you don't realise how fantabulous that your work is, and what a wonderful gift that you're giving the earth back for all what we get. We're back? Cool. Right, cards for today. I'm using the spell casting oracle cards. Fantastic cards. And this one is a card of strength. And I actually think it's to do with all the inner resolve that we are going to have to use in these coming weeks, because if you're in the southeast, the pandemic is fierce down here, and you are going to have to make decisions, your own decisions of whether you have the injection thing or not. There's a lot of decisions to be made this week, and you will need that inner strength, that inner resolve that we all have, that we use in reserve for when we have difficult choices to make. But as I'm always saying, base those choices on what you think and what you feel. Nothing that you read, nothing that people say to you. It has to sit right with you, your own self. That's what we've got inner strength for. And the second card, actually I actually drew 2 cards here, like they just popped out, and these are magical messages from the fairies. Right, and the first, they come out, healing, healed, healer. Healing energy surrounds you and this situation. Well, we're generating that healing our own selves, and we are all healing and healers, and we are healing people. So it's fantastic. And the other one that came out at the same time was be yourself. And I always say that, be who you are, because you are magnificent exactly as you are. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your own personal power. And it is, again, it's about trusting your own intuition, trusting your own judgment on the things that are going to be coming up for us this week. Now, I have to read this to you because I was actually really upset when I read this. My friend Penny Horton, she is I don't know if it's called a matron anymore, but she's the head of a whole big branch of Medway Hospital, which is really having it tonight. And one of her colleagues wrote this. I'll have to read it to you. I'm not having a go at you, but I just want to read it to you. In support of my colleagues, the respect is gone. The appreciation is gone. Now thank you for working through. All of this has been replaced by, this is ridiculous. The threat of calling senior managers and being shouted at down the phone by understandably frustrated relatives are at an all-time high. The annoyed eye rolls and huffy sighs when you tell them it shouldn't be much longer, that we are actually doing our best, really is chipping away at our morale. Free coffee, free meals, a thing of the past. Hotel lights in the shape of hearts aren't on anymore. Neighbours that waved us off to work and told us to stay safe have gone back inside. The community that displayed heroes work here signs have turned their backs on us. The local rag is back to pointing at our shortcomings. We are still here. We are still fighting. We are working harder than we ever have. We're exhausted. We are frustrated. And we are so emotionally and physically drained. We're skipping breaks. We're going in and coming home late. We're missing time with our own families. We are doing the best we can. We are not healthcare heroes anymore. We are slaves to this pandemic. Pete, please cut us some slack. I mean, it's a terrible indication, and I can't say I'm not guilty of it myself, even though I do still really break the dustbin and stuff, but I never come out to clap the nurses anymore. So even if we ain't coming out doing that clapping stuff anymore, please, in any way that you can, show people that are out there, whether they're the nurses or shop workers, anyone that's out there is doing their bit, and I want you to show your appreciation, because we do all appreciate them. And like nurses, they do it for love. There ain't no way that any nurse does it for wages. They do it for love. And you have to think about it. They walk towards this virus every single day. We're all hiding indoors and doing the things that we feel that we need to keep ourselves safe. And the poor old nurse is still at it. So any nurse that you see, any action that you see that can give someone a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of praise, please don't forget to do it, because it is really, it's vitally important. And it's, again, it's about having that attitude of gratitude for people that are working tirelessly to keep all of us safe. Really, when that bit where it was at eye rolls, I thought, oh God, how awful that must be. So even if it's only your own behaviour, just please try and show that appreciation to absolutely anyone and everyone that you come across that's out there. Excuse me. Anyway, shut your energy centres now. Your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your sacral, no, your solar, your sacral and your root chakra. Excuse me. Shut them all down, not close them, just wind them down a bit. Put your cloak on, put your hood up. But the minute you get out there, unlimited love for absolutely everyone. As much love as you can give to absolutely everyone that comes across your path is your role in life. It is your job, it is your duty. And I will say my lovely phrase from Mother Teresa, because I do love this. Spread love wherever you go. Let no one come to you without leaving the happier for being with you. And if you can do even only that one thing in your life, you're doing miracles out there. And we will all thank you and applaud you for that. So don't forget, love unlimited. I love those words. Love unlimited. Without prejudice, without gaining favour, just for the pleasure of giving your love. Because once you give your love out there, man, you get so much back. You get so much back, it's unbelievable. Right, so don't forget, stay alert, stay safe, and look after each other. Again, we do applaud you nurses, even if it's not in the physical. There's not one person, even if you're an eye roller or a huffer and a puffer, there's not one person in the whole world that don't appreciate what you do. Whether they say it to you or not, the love and the appreciation is there. It just is there. So Have a great week this week. Again, what I say to you every week, if you feel unsafe or slightly wobbly about what you're doing, stop doing it. Walk away. Take yourself away from something that makes you feel fearful. All right? So have a fantastic week. Thank you very much for coming. I absolutely love it that we're doing these meditations together. It's been the best part of the pandemic for me. If there's such a thing as the best part of it. So love each other every single day of your life. I'll see you all next week. Please share these videos if you can. I keep a record of them on YouTube under Eileens Crystal Singing Bowl Meditations. Love each other. I love you all. Bye bye, baby Raphael. Take care, look after each other and stay safe.